All right. Hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to our weekend weird, where we explore the craziest conspiracy theories that we can find around the internet. And today, I think I found some good ones. Because my audience has voted and said, "Hey, we wanna talk about the vaults of the Vatican," which is where we're gonna head immediately right now. But we're not going alone because we're going to be going with the Fact Files. Fact File official, 2.44 million subscribers, right? Capture what no one's supposed to see, and it shows like people with dog heads. This is the wooiest channel. First real UFO video. Terrifying secrets. These 20 natural wonders were destroyed in just the past 5 years. Look, it's Pete Hegseth, of course. Pentagon leader just released this UFO video they tried to hide. Oh, heroic Pete Hegseth, right? Oh my gosh, it's got all over the Human Z. Yikes, on bikes. But they also have a video on... It's crazy how many times Joe Rogan appears on here. Joe. Neil deGrasse Tyson, too. Neil. Yeah, hold on, there's more. Joe. Oh, Elon's on here. Tucker. What's her name? That's the news lady. But that's Fox News. She's awful, but I can't remember what her name is. Look at this guy. But there's more Tucker. Graham Hancock. You get the idea what kind of channel we're dealing with here, right? There's Elon again. More Graham Hancock. Mustache Man. Tucker again. Graham again. Joe again. Joe and Graham together. Graham Hancock. The Pope. Yeah, this is the kind of wildness that we are looking at today, though. Let's go. Oh, you can't hear. Hold on.
That gets to go to Rome, and I was blown away, and I highly recommend it to anybody and I was blown away, and I highly recommend it to anybody that gets to go to Rome. If you go to Rome, please go to the Vatican. It's stunning.
Beneath the timeless corridors of the Vatican lies something few have ever seen. A sealed vault, untouched for centuries. Behind its heavy, ironclad doors are relics, manuscripts, and secrets so...
When we talk about the Vatican and the vaults of the Vatican and just the Vatican in general and the Catholic Church, please, I ask everyone to remember and keep in mind that the land that the Vatican is on was granted, bestowed upon the Catholic Church by the fascist Mussolini government of Italy, who were part of the Nazi Axis. Fun stuff.
profound, so potentially world-altering, they have been kept hidden from public knowledge. Why were they sealed away? And more importantly, what exactly did they find? From forbidden scriptures to lost technologies. Prepare to descend into the shadows of faith, history, and conspiracy. This isn't just a story about hidden artifacts. It's a story about how the world might have changed if these truths ever came to light.
Now, beyond NASA and ESA, the Roman Catholic Church is also interested in what lies beyond our universe. Indeed, the Vatican has its own observatory in Rome.
They got a little observatory where they say, "Hey, Jesus." Yeah, they don't want to talk about where they got their sovereignty from. We talk day and night about how Israel got their sovereignty from the UN and from Churchill specifically in the UK, but no one talks about how the Vatican got its sovereignty No one wants to bring that up up into the light.
The Jesuit astronomers are also looking to the heavens in Mount Graham, Arizona.
1. The Forbidden Codex. Deep within the Apostolic Archive lies a mysterious manuscript that scholars whisper about in hushed tones, the Forbidden Codex. Believed to have been omitted from the canonical Bible during the Council of Nicaea, this gospel...
Remember the Voynich manuscript that we talked about? Oh, how long ago has that been? That's been forever ago. Hold on. I don't even know what the video would be called. Yeah, the Alien manuscript. And it was... Here we go. Gotta drop a link to it. Oh, Henry just jumped in the pool. Oh, so much for him coming in and saying bye to you all when the show wraps up. He'll still be wet. He loves to get in the pool. He's a pool dog.
Paints Jesus not as a miracle worker, but as a radical philosopher and mystic.
But yeah, that's to where I talked about the Voynich manuscript. But I do love the non-canonical portions of the Bible that were cut out. It's like, who the fuck are these guys at the Council of Nicaea who think they can just say, oh, well, we want to keep this and get rid of that and keep this and get rid of that?
Controversially, it allegedly acknowledges female apostles, references lost teachings on the cosmos.
Turn up the video? Absolutely. It's almost all the way up, though.
Speaks of reincarnation and divine consciousness. Could such a text undermine
the
foundations of mainstream Christianity? The Church has never confirmed its existence, but leaked descriptions hint at its authenticity. Is this a forgotten gospel or a deliberate fabrication?
Does it sound better now? It's all the way up, but I don't know if I got anything else I can turn it up. Let me see. Let me see what I can do here. If I turn it up here, does it turn it up there?
If it's real, the implications are massive. For centuries, it has remained locked away from the world, and perhaps for good reason. 2. The letter that could have saved millions. In the final days of Pope Pius XI's life,
okay,
a
I can do
bold
that.
and unprecedented document was drafted.
Drop my Mac down a little bit. Balance it out.
This encyclical directly condemned anti-Semitism, racism, and totalitarian regimes.
Why would you want to hide that away?
Sweeping Europe in the late 1930s. It named Hitler.
That's weird because the Yeti video was fine. I think it's just this channel maybe has the things really low. Look how many different topics it's going to have.
And Mussolini. And it urged Catholics worldwide to reject racial hatred. But Pius XI died before its release, and his successor, Pius XII, shelved it. The reasons remain murky. Was it political caution, diplomatic strategy, or something more sinister? Historians believe the letter could have changed the Church's role during
Pope Pius XII. I mean, he's the guy, right? He's the guy who silently supported the Nazis. I mean, I don't know how else to put it.
World War II, inspiring resistance rather than silence. Instead, it vanished into the archives. Only decades later did researchers rediscover it, prompting haunting questions. What if it had been read from every pulpit across Europe? Would it have changed the course of the Holocaust? 3. The Machine of God, a blueprint for the...
I don't know, because I don't want to oversell the Catholic Church's part in the Holocaust and like pretend like, oh, this was perpetrated by this, like a new Inquisition perpetrated by the Church or anything like that. Because, you know, it wasn't necessarily, but I think they did turn a blind eye. I don't know how to approach this without trying to say, hey, the Catholic Church was a Nazi organization, but it's almost like they were bought by the Nazis. But I digress.
Impossible. Legend has it that among Leonardo da Vinci's lesser-known designs is a device dubbed the Machine of God, a mechanism so advanced it was centuries ahead of its time. Some believe the blueprints were quietly acquired by the Vatican during the early 17th century and locked away due to their potential to disrupt
what's it do?
theological doctrine. The machine, based on celestial harmonics,
what does the Machine
and
of
sacred
God do?
geometry, purportedly predicted
Sacred geometry. Hold on, okay.
based on celestial harmonics and sacred geometry, purportedly predicted solar and lunar events with eerie precision.
Or just understanding astronomy will help you predict those events as well. So maybe it was an astronomy book?
Others claim it could calculate divine patterns, linking human fate to the stars. While no public record of this machine exists, Vatican insiders speak of a vault labeled Sanctum Obscurum, where divine technologies are said to be.
There's a band name, Sanctum Obscurum. Is that already a band name? Is there already a band called that? If not, I'm trademarking it. Sanctum Obscurum. No, but there's one called Sanctum Obscurum. Another is Sanctum Obscurum, maybe. There's a song called Sanctum Obscurum. Okay.
Hidden.
My
Was
bad.
Da Vinci building a celestial computer or something far stranger? And if so, why bury it? 4. The necropolis.
Sounds like Da Vinci was dabbling in astronomy to me, but he maybe coming up with some astronomy tools. I don't know why that's such a weird thing. Or why. I get why the church might want to hide something like that, though. If, eclipses and meteor showers and things like that could be predicted and charted and timed out, well, then they certainly aren't a sign of God that something happening right now is bad, right? So you got to keep that under your hat. I understand. I guess that makes sense of why they would try to hide that. Weird, though.
Under Vatican Hill. Beneath the grandeur of St. Peter's Basilica lies a forgotten city of the dead, Rome's ancient necropolis.
I love a necropolis. I wish they still did necropolises, though. It'd be cool to go visit your lost family members in the necropolis. I guess you have to have a pretty privileged class to be in a necropolis anyway, though.
Discovered during secret excavations in the 1940s, this subterranean world revealed early Christian tombs, richly decorated with symbols, inscriptions, and frescoes. But what shocked archaeologists most were the remnants of pagan altars and rituals, evidence that Christianity and paganism once coexisted in complex, surprising ways.
I think that's awesome. And then what happened? Christofascism happened? Yeah? Is that what happened? Is that what always happens? The monotheist can't deal with having to share the playground with other people, so they do genocides and cultural erasure and demonization of cultures that differ from their own. Is that what happened? I think so. I think that did happen. Happens every fucking time. It's happening right now in my country.
One crypt, believed to belong to St. Peter himself, has been the subject of intense debate. Is it truly his final resting place? Or was the site chosen to legitimize Vatican authority over ancient Rome?
Ooh, the latter. The latter, probably. Yeah, the latter.
The church has heavily restricted access to the deepest chambers. What lies further beneath? some believe a far older faith, long erased from history, still whispers from the stones.
For real, I get migraines. I don't want to go to the hallucinogen fields or the white clouds or any of that shit. That just sounds awful. I want someplace that's dark or dimly lit. You all know I like dimly lit anyway. Most of the time, I'm sitting like this in the dark while we talk. I'm just like, I'm kind of feeling some sunshine today, trying to get myself perked up because I had a bad week. But I digress. Let's see, what's number 5? 500 years of divine art.
500 years of divine art. In 1508, a young Raphael was summoned to the Vatican by Pope Julius II, not merely to paint, but to immortalize an idea that divine wisdom and human intellect could coexist. What followed was the creation of the Stanze di Raffaello, rooms adorned with frescoes so masterful they rival Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel.
Okay.
But beyond beauty, scholars now believe Raphael embedded hidden messages in his art. Was Raphael...
Let's do it. I like hidden messages. Crack them. Let's crack the code. Let's Da Vinci code this biatch.
communicating something deeper? In the
Bovine farts.
disputation of the Holy Sacrament, figures gaze upward, past the visible, to a realm that seems almost encoded. Some even claim the placement of books and scrolls reveals suppressed theological philosophy.
And that's true about a lot of things in fresco art pieces and stuff like that. That there are, like, there may be like a statue of somebody over here, right? That this points to. That this. Oh, you can't even see. Hold on, yeah. Like a statue or whatever over where this is pointing. This scale, right? Yeah, she's weighing something, but it's making this into a point on this end, and it's rounded on this end. So this might be an arrow pointing to like a statue or sculpture over here, or an altar, or a cubby where you're supposed to leave your sacrament, or something like that. Or if you follow the line of sight of individuals and sync them up, like these two people seem to be looking both this direction. Maybe they're looking at this, and if you look at that, there may be something hidden in this that'll tell you to go to this room and make this kind of prayer or whatever. Stuff like that. And I know the Sistine Chapel has a lot of them. The 16th Chapel? Well, everybody talks about the 16th Chapel, but there was 15 chapels before that, and nobody even mentions them.
Of books and scrolls reveals suppressed theological philosophies, ideas too radical for open doctrine. In 2020, for the first time in centuries, the Vatican unveiled Raphael's full tapestry collection beneath Michelangelo's ceiling, a reunion long delayed. Was it celebration or revelation?
Pope looks pissed.
Reunion long delayed. Was it
that Pope right there? He looks pissed. He's like, "What the fuck, God?" And the lady behind him was like, "Jesus, Pope." And the lady sitting next to him was like, "Did you just say Jesus? Let me get my titties out." You know, it was the golden age of the Catholic Church when the Pope had his own maidens with their titties out next to him.
Celebration or revelation? 6.
Oh, looks like Ryan has dropped to spot 3. Oh no.
The secret of La Salette.
La Salette.
In the pastoral village of La Salette.
What will you have? I'll just have La Salette, please. With buttermilk ranch.
Salette, France, 2 shepherd children reported a stunning vision in 1846. A radiant lady, weeping, revealed to them a series of secrets that would eventually split.
There are no trans people in that work of Michelangelo because it was created by a Sistine.
The faithful into camps of belief, doubt, and fear. While the public portion warned of moral decay and divine punishment, the second part, sent directly to the Pope, has never been fully disclosed.
Ooh.
That secret remains locked, within the Vatican vaults.
Moral decay sounds like some Matt Walsh shit. Catholic Church, got a surprise for you. You are the moral decay, motherfuckers. What happened to the Roan Chapel? I would go to the Roan Chapel, like the Sistine Chapel with Chapel Rome stuff all over it. That'd be awesome.
Some researchers claim it predicted global cataclysms, church corruption, and the rise of a false pope. Others say it prophesied the end times. One Vatican
Is that Our Lady Fatima?
insider allegedly leaked a fragment. Rome will lose the faith and become the seat of the Antichrist. Why did the Vatican choose silence? Officially, to protect the faithful from unnecessary panic. But what if the real reason is far more unsettling? What if the events described have already begun? The echoes of La Salette still haunt the corridors of the Vatican.
That looks like Our Lady Fatima, right? Am I the only one who's getting that kind of vibe from these images?
And the question remains, what are they so afraid you'll discover? 7. The financial ledger, Introitus et Exitus. Buried under layers of bureaucratic titles and Latin script.
Is this about their title that was given to them by the Nazis with Hitler's signature on it?
Lies one of the Vatican's most revealing documents, Introitus et Exitus. Literally translated as income and expenses, this annual financial ledger spans centuries and is anything but mundane. The pages not only detail the church's income from indulgences, tithes, and donations, but also...
Y'all know what indulgences are, right? Indulgences was when the aristocracy of medieval Europe, or I guess it wasn't medieval, it would have been like early modern Europe, would purchase sins from the church. Basically pre-order their forgiveness for what they're about to do, right? For the sins that they're going to commit at their parties or whatever. You know, they would buy indulgences so they could indulge in sin and already have forgiveness on its way from the church.
Also disbursements to monarchs, secret orders, and controversial regimes. Payments to shadow...
Controversial regime. Say it with your whole chest. We know who you're talking about. Ben's got celery juice. Let it be known. And that's in about an hour. Yep. So stick around and we'll boot you right over to Ben's right from here.
Figures during the Cold War. Coded entries coinciding with historical upheavals. Even alleged funding trails to paramilitary groups in the 20th century. What makes this ledger so dangerous is its ability to connect the dots. Dots that may reveal how the church has influenced global events, not just spiritually, but financially.
Again, we know what you are talking about. Why don't you say it? Say it with your whole chest. Who was in charge in Italy in the 1930s? And then we'll move through that topic. I mean, we can stop pretending that, the Pope's been in Rome, but they didn't have their own sovereignty until the 1930s. Yeah. I will say that the Catholic Church was like Musk is to Trump to Mussolini, right? Before the fallout, anyway, which I've been following with great pleasure.
One entry, dated 1942, chillingly reads, Transference for Humanitarian Outreach, Southern Europe, classified. The amount, equivalent to tens of millions today. Is this evidence of charity or quiet complicity? One Vatican accountant, who reviewed a portion of the records,
he won't say it,
vanished weeks after giving an anonymous interview. To this day, few are permitted to see the unredacted ledgers. Because when you follow the money, you often find the truth. 8. The Vatican.
Yeah, SJ. I used to interact with SJ on Twitter when I did Twitter. I don't do Twitter anymore. I do not. It's a cringe place. But we're not going to talk about SJ's peonies because, yeah, gross. Brother from another mother, John Hudson.
UFO fund.
Yeah, Twitter's still there, I guess. The U.S. government will probably shut it down now that the Queens are fighting. I call it Twix. I refuse to call it X. I don't call it X at all. And I'm much more active on Blue Sky. I'm not really active on Blue Sky either. And then my Threads is connected to my Facebook, which if you want pictures that I would, for the most part, it's like pretty vanilla stuff. Then Threads is where I'm posting because it's an extension of Facebook. Sometimes it's pretty vanilla. But on Blue Sky, I'll post more fun stuff, and then of course Discord's where I have all my fun. I do get a little bit racier on Instagram if you're interested in that.
Files.
Yeah.
It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, but several insiders allege that the Vatican has long maintained files on unidentified aerial phenomena. Housed deep within the Apostolic Archive,
UFOs?
formerly known as the Secret
There's going to be Vatican UFO documents. Fuck yes.
Archive.
How far back do those go, I wonder?
These documents reportedly include reports from missionaries, bishops, and even popes who witnessed unexplained objects in the sky. One particularly bizarre document, dated 1561, references a celestial event over Nuremberg, Germany, where witnesses described floating crosses, metallic spheres, and an aerial battle. Vatican astronomers were said to have investigated and stored.
That sounds kind of badass, like a space battle above medieval Europe. Could you imagine? And there were probably meteor showers and stuff that could have accounted for some of this. I don't know, because we have like things like the Leonidas meteor showers, which people thought the world was ending.
Stored their findings in a file known only as Decilis Alienus, of alien heavens. More recently, reports suggest Pope John XXIII encountered a being during a garden stroll at Castel Gandolfo in 1961.
Castel Gandolfo. Anything with Gandalf
A
in it.
luminous figure allegedly emerged from a hovering craft. His account, buried in Vatican protocol and never officially acknowledged. Why would the Church be interested in extraterrestrial life? Perhaps because the discovery of life
All right,
beyond...
we're going to look at Castel Gandolfo because I found it. It's right here. Well, it disappears when I zoom in. Where? I guess it's the name of the town. But it's got a nice lake. Lago Albano. It's south of the city. But I'm assuming this is the big garden area that you stroll in when you're the Pope. I don't know. If I was a Pope, where would I stroll? This doesn't look very Pope-tastic. That's not Pope-tastic at all. Where's all the gold? Pope not happy. Oi.
on Earth challenges fundamental theological doctrines, or perhaps because they already knew. The sky, it seems, may not be as empty as we thought. And yet, that's still not the strangest secret sealed behind those walls. 9. The Gospel of Judas.
It'd be awesome if they showed like the wall open up and a bunch of seals ran out. And it was like seals behind the walls. Oh no. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
For nearly 2,000 years, Judas Iscariot has been known as the ultimate betrayer, the man who handed over Jesus for 30 silver coins. But what if that story was never meant to be told that way? Hidden in the Egyptian desert for centuries and recovered in the 1970s, the Gospel of Judas offers a radically different version of events. In this ancient Coptic manuscript, Judas is not a villain.
In this, Judas is your turbo lover. I mean, if you think he's not, you got another thing coming.
But a chosen confidant. Jesus, according to the text, asked Judas to betray him as part of a divine plan. The narrative implies secret teachings that Jesus shared only with Judas, teachings involving cosmology, multiple divine beings, and a spirit world vastly different from the traditional heaven and hell. Though the document is publicly known today, many speculate that a fuller, more complete version lies within the Vatican's sealed collections.
Seals! I'm telling you, it's the seals. The seals are the secret. Secret seals.
Too dangerous to release.
I'm really good at animal sounds. I got a magic mouth. On so many levels.
Some theologians believe it could dismantle the core of Christian doctrine. Did the Church fear what this version of Judas might reveal about sacrifice, redemption, or the true nature of good and evil? If Judas was chosen, not condemned, how would that reshape the world's oldest story of salvation?
I hope somebody got my Judas Priest jokes there. I'm sure John Hudson did. Because he's saying hell-bent for leather. Yeah.
10. The Vatican and the occult.
Hell yes. This is the Hellboy shit right here. This is the goddamn Exorcist. This is where, like, most horror movies and, like, even horror comic books and stuff take place in a world that's in a Catholic universe where, like, the Catholic Church is, like, the right, is correct, right? Like, the demons from the devil from the Bible and the Catholic doctrine and everything is accurate, and, you know, exorcisms are real and all that. So there's we can't really talk about the occult in general without thinking of the Catholic Church and witch hunters and witch finder generals, because the Catholic priests are the heroes of these narratives, right? But I digress. We'll see what they have to say about their ties to the occult.
For an institution so publicly devoted to purity, the Vatican has amassed a striking volume of literature on the occult. From ancient grimoires to alchemical texts, some of the world's most arcane knowledge...
What the hell were they doing to that guy? Hold on.
...to alchemical texts.
What are you doing to this gentleman's feet? What's going on here? This is like an exorcism, right? It's got to be an exorcism. That guy's wearing kind of an executioner hood. Unless he's wearing a hood like this and just looking away. But that looks like an eye hole. Maybe. This is a woodcut piece. Homie is looking like he's getting tortured. I think this is a torture device.
Some of the world's most arcane knowledge is preserved not in private collections or secret societies, but beneath the Vatican itself. One particular manuscript, known only by its catalogue code, Ordo Tenebris 739, allegedly contains ritual instructions for summoning and banishing entities, translated from pre-Christian Babylonian rites.
Pre-Christian Babylonian rites to summon entities? Please give those to me. I need those. I need those. Those are my people's records, okay? So return them to us, and there won't be any trouble, Pope Leo. Is it Pope Leo that we're dealing with now? Pope Leo? Yes. Us Babylonian witches need our documents to be able to call upon our Savior to. We need to be able to deal with the stuff that's going on right now in this little corner of the world, in the U.S. right now. I want to deal with. So, if you could, would you please, Pope Leo from Chicago, Illinois, girl myself, sort of, but I digress. Come on, we make some kind of arrangements to get these summoning spells, right? Right, baby? Sure, there's something I can do.
Eleventh, a treasure trove of history. Forget gold. The real treasure buried within the Vatican is historical. We're talking maps older than any known world chart.
Ooh.
Scrolls written by hand millennia ago.
Old maps. I love it. I do love old maps, and there's probably so many cool old maps that they kept from us. These bastards.
And personal letters exchanged between emperors and popes. It's a silent library of power and diplomacy. Among these artifacts is the supposed Chronicon Petrus, an early Christian
Oppression. You forgot oppression, because they'd use their wealth and knowledge to oppress the people around them.
chronicle that references civilizations lost to time, empires not mentioned in any current historical record. One Vatican librarian even claimed the archive holds a pre-Columbian map of the Americas, annotated in Latin and dated a century before Columbus set sail. And then there's the Magna Tabula Lunaris.
I want to see that map. Wait, go back to the map you just mentioned. A pre-Columbian map in Latin, not in Scandinavian. What do you think, guys? I want to see that shit. Show it to me.
A moon chart that, if authentic, charts the surface of the moon with shocking accuracy. Created in the 9th century. Why withhold these treasures from public view?
My headphones are going to die. That's the first. I guess I have been unplugged for a couple of days. If it happens, I'll just switch over to these. That'll be fine.
Some say the church fears rewriting history. Others argue it's about protecting relics from corruption or destruction. But when knowledge is hoarded, so too is power. Perhaps that's the true secret of the sealed vault. Not what it hides from the world, but what it reveals about those who keep it hidden. 12th.
That includes you guys. Are you keeping things hidden? You gotta open up to me now. We don't need divine intervention. Me and you have this discussion. I heard you. Keeps telling me low battery, please charge. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn these off and switch over. But I have to lose my cute hat. That's alright though. We're almost done with the show anyway. And I'm going to plug these in. And they're charging now. I'm going to switch over to these. And the show must go on. Make sure connection's good.
Vatican's Celestial Archives. Tucked away in the Vatican Observatory and
Okay,
its
does that
adjacent
work?
archives
I think we
are
transferred over just
centuries
fine.
worth of celestial data, star maps, planetary records, and cryptic commentaries that blend astronomy.
All right. Just want to make sure that we were good. Let me know if the audio still sounds all right and everything, because I switched over. I don't think I can wear this hat with these. No. That looks ridiculous. Absolutely not. I mean, maybe if I tipped them back like this. That looks stupid too, though. I'll just wear them. I don't need to wear my hat. I love my hat, though. I'm going to wear it all the time now. I have a pink one, too.
With prophecy. Jesuit astronomers have tracked movements of stars, not just for science,
Where'd my audio go? Hold on.
but for science.
There we go.
One manuscript,
You all could hear it and I couldn't. Had to disconnect something.
referred to as the Stellae Manuscriptum, includes a passage stating, "When 3 moons rise in the east, the veil shall lift." Some scholars interpret this as a prophecy of cosmic upheaval. Others think it points to knowledge the Church once embraced, but later suppressed. There are also documents that detail celestial anomalies unexplained by modern science.
It's so weird to see these men dressed basically like wizards in wizard robes with little wizard hats and stuff, and big fancy wizard hats, looking at microscopes and telescopes and things, looking like this non-modern technology. It looks bizarre to me because they're like the Catholic priesthood from the Pope down is very archaic, and like they're still doing robes and stuff like they did in the Middle Ages. It's like remember when the first Harry Potter movie was made and they had all the kids in robes and stuff, and then by the second movie they're like, hey, this looks stupid, we should change that, and so they changed it and just let them wear like school uniforms. Yeah. Not that I'm simping for Harry Potter, because fuck Harry Potter, but
Are these observations simply astronomical,
I stand Daniel Radcliffe though, so
or do they hide something far more metaphysical? Perhaps the stars hold secrets not of the heavens, but of humanity itself. 13. The Devil's Advocate Files. For centuries,
is that like the screenplay for the Keanu Reeves movie? I'm guessing it's probably not, but
the Vatican employed a figure known as the Devil's Advocate, tasked with arguing against candidates for sainthood. Their job? Uncover flaws, false miracles, and buried scandals. These investigations, often brutally honest, are kept in a secret archive, especially the ones deemed too sensitive.
oh, that sounds scandalous. Because, I mean, think of the ones we do hear about, and then think about, oh, well, there's other ones that we don't get to hear about.
One file allegedly contains evidence disproving all the miracles attributed to a saint beloved worldwide. Another question
Probably Mother Teresa.
questions the moral integrity of an influential canonized
Because fuck that lady, too. Oh, the suffering's beautiful.
figure. Why seal these away? To protect faith or to protect reputations? The files represent a
Well, to me, that's sort of like a HR kind of thing, though. I get why that would be sealed away. I'm saying that the Pope and his friends could just start wearing suits. Even if the Pope was like, oh, the Pope is designated in a white suit or something like that. That'd be fine. Not saying they have to wear school uniforms, but like the Pope could wear a white suit and the Cardinals could wear red suits. Like, dress like it's 2025, not 1525. I'm not trying to shame anybody for how they dress, of course, but some of the stuff that we've seen these church people wear are pretty ostentatious. And they have the nerve to complain about drag shows.
side of the Vatican few see, a place where belief is tested and the truth is not always welcome. Behind the polished image of sainthood may lie stories the Church would rather the faithful never hear.
No doubt.
14. the Vatican's role in the Holocaust. The Vatican's actions during World War II remain one of history's most controversial mysteries. Officially, the Church remained neutral, but hidden correspondence tells a more complicated tale. Letters stored in sealed drawers suggest the Vatican was aware of Nazi deportations as early as 1942.
Finally, he says it. 18 and a half minutes into a 26-minute video, he finally says the quiet part out loud.
Some priests begged for action. Others warned silence would mean complicity. One chilling memo reads, "Intervention risks global instability." Was the Church protecting its flock or preserving its power? While some say Pope Pius XII acted quietly to save Jewish lives, others argue that moral clarity was sacrificed for diplomatic leverage. These documents challenge the narrative of neutrality.
Wait,
And the deeper one digs, the more unsettling.
Hold on, am I wrong about that? Was it a different pope? Wasn't it Pius? Pope Pius XII who signed signed off on all the Nazi stuff to get the Vatican City's sovereignty? Is that not the same guy? So how did he save? What lives did he save? Who did he help? Tell me in the comments down below. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but if I got the wrong pope, tell me in the comments. Tell me in the side chat if you're here now and I got it wrong. But that's my understanding.
The silence becomes. 15. The Vatican's role in the Crusades. The Crusades are often portrayed as holy wars, but the Vatican's archived orders paint a darker picture. Original papal decrees detail strategies not only for conquest, but for economic dominance. One document, attributed to Pope Innocent III, uses the term cleansing through desolation. Another discusses the division of spoils between church and crown. Were these wars really about faith or power masked in piety? The records reveal explicit
Power, mask, and piety? I kind of like the sound of that. Sounds like a straight up call out. Are you going to stick with it?
instructions for targeting trade routes and cities of wealth. They also expose the theological justifications created to rally fighters, some of which the Church quietly distanced itself from in later years. Through these ancient parchments, the myth of noble crusaders fades, replaced by something far more calculated and far less holy.
Is there a myth of noble crusaders? I've always thought of the crusaders as like, they were basically the Catholic version of, like suicide bombers, right? Or the, they were insurgents and religious zealot insurgents, making war on the Holy Land because of their mythology. Trying to reclaim a land that wasn't theirs from a people who had lived there for thousands of years. Bizarre time in history.
16. The Vatican's influence on science. The Vatican isn't just the heart of Catholicism. It's a quiet powerhouse of scientific history. Housing one of the oldest astronomical observatories, the Church once led the world in understanding the stars. But not all knowledge was embraced. The trial of Galileo is infamous, yet lesser known are the suppressed manuscripts from early Church scholars proposing evolutionary ideas or heliocentrism long before Darwin or Copernicus. Some of these remain unpublished.
What the hell does Darwin have to do with heliocentrism? Pope Pius XI. Okay, so it was I was a pope late. It's the 11th. Okay.
Locked in vaults. The mysterious Codex Lucis, the Book of Light,
See,
allegedly
that's the
combined.
thing. I'll correct myself when I'm wrong. If you say, "Hey, Bree, it was not Pope Pius the 12th. It was Pope Pius the 11th." I'll be like, "Oh, damn, Dave. Thanks for looking that up for me." I'll correct myself and redact what I said about Pope Pius the 12th.
Theology and quantum theory, speculating on divine particles and spiritual physics. Was the church afraid of losing control if science outpaced scripture? Or were they protecting something they didn't fully understand? One thing is clear: truth and heresy are often separated by timing. 17. The Vatican's diplomatic correspondence. As a sovereign entity, the Vatican has engaged in global diplomacy for centuries, but what's hidden in their classified correspondence is staggering. Letters between popes and political leaders, dictators, even secret societies reveal a Vatican working quietly to influence wars, peace treaties, and revolutions. One 20th century document discusses the possibility of a unified spiritual political order in Europe. Another hints at Vatican involvement.
But that's globalism. How come Catholics are okay with globalism as long as it's the Catholic Church globalism? As long as it's in the name of Jesus. The Catholic Church doesn't even do things in the name of Jesus. They have like a whole pantheon of spiritual figures that they evoke to claim their divine right to whatever land they stick their little flags
in Cold War resistance movements. But it's the cryptic language in some of these notes, references to sacred balance and dark illumination, that spark the most speculation. Are these just poetic turns of phrase or coded agendas? These are not mere letters. They are power sealed in parchment. 18. The Vatican's role in the Inquisition. The Inquisition may be over, but its legacy lives on in preserved trial records, torture protocols, and forbidden texts. These archives reveal how heresy was not just punished, it was defined, redefined, and wielded. One manual outlines interrogation techniques deemed sanctioned under divine wrath. Another lists banned books, including philosophical works that
banned books, huh? What's that sound like? What was it they said before that was banned books?
Interrogation techniques deemed sanctioned under divine wrath. Another lists banned books, including
human right violation, torture manuals, banned books,
philosophical works that later formed the backbone of Enlightenment thought.
How do we control the masses, my dear Hive? How do we control the people?
The Church claims it maintains these for historical preservation. But why hold on to instructions for silencing dissent? 19. The Vatican's collection.
I know why. Instructions for silencing dissent. And philosophical writings being canceled is all kith and kin to that, because you got to do that too. You can have people thinking philosophically while you're trying to strip their rights away.
Of forbidden texts. The Vatican's secret archive holds thousands of texts labeled heretical, Gnostic Gospels, Eastern philosophies, occult writings, and ancient alchemical treatises. Some of these were seized during the Inquisition. Others were acquired through private collectors or secret negotiations. Why preserve what was meant to be destroyed? Scholars believe the Church kept these texts to understand their threats, or perhaps their power. One especially controversial.
I hope that they have like demon summoning spells that I'll be able to use once we like. Remember when everybody was all about raiding Area 51? Everybody's like, "Let's go to Area 51. They can't stop us all." You got the dudes doing the Naruto run at the gate. Yeah, storming Area 51. That was the thing, and they had concession stands and shit. It got wild. Surely we can do that with the Vatican, right? They can't stop us all. We can get our ancestral spells back, our artifacts, our books, our maps, our mummies, all that stuff. We can get it back. We work together as a team. Teamwork. Me and you, Hive, and then the rest of the world too, because we'll need a whole bunch of people. More than just you guys, because I don't think the 21 of us, 22 of us with me, I don't think that we can handle it.
Controversial manuscript is said to describe Jesus as a student of Eastern mysticism. Another reportedly outlines a path to divine enlightenment without the need for institutional religion. Are these texts dangerous or simply inconvenient? In a vault where dogma meets curiosity, truth.
These are holdover from a time when written text was strongly policed, right? But they can't do that nowadays because we have the internet and stuff. I mean, they can try. They fucking try to police what we can read and write. But they can't do it as effectively now as they could back in the early modern period before Gutenberg, pre-Gutenbergian policing of manuscripts.
Often takes on many forms. 20. The enigmatic legacy of Pope Sylvester II. Long before the
Mysterious.
Renaissance, there was Pope Sylvester II, a scholar, scientist, and rumored sorcerer. Born Gerbert of...
Fuck yeah! Why don't we have sorcerer popes anymore? Like, seriously, what if a portal opened over Europe right now and like a legion of demons started pouring through and we did not have a sorcerer pope to protect us?
Aurillac, he studied in Islamic Spain and was fascinated by mathematics, mechanics, and astronomy. Some believe he constructed automata, mechanical beings, and a mysterious bronze head, said to answer questions with uncanny accuracy.
Nice!
His reign as Pope...
I want one of those. Is that down there in the Vatican? So, if we go to the Vatican, I'm looking for this talking head. Yeah. A bronze head that talks and answers
From
questions.
999 to 1003 was marked by both admiration and suspicion. After his death, legends emerged claiming he had made a pact with the devil for knowledge. Hidden beneath the Lateran Basilica, his tomb bears an inscription: "When I awaken, Rome shall fall." Whether metaphor or warning, the church has never opened it. Was he a genius?
I'll open it. Let me open that shit up right now. I'm ready for it. Pope Sylvester and Tweety Bird. Nah.
Ahead of his time, or a keeper of forbidden knowledge? Either way, his legacy is one the Vatican still treats with...
He's a sorcerer. Maybe the sorcerer supreme in this universe. Show a little respect. That's why we need more sorcerer popes. I don't know if Leo's a sorcerer or not.
silence. History isn't always written, it's hidden. Locked behind stone and secrecy, the Vatican's vaults aren't just repositories
Well,
of...
there was we covered it here. There was a portal above Mount Rushmore. We could have used the sorcerer pope. Just a couple of years ago. You know, allegedly that's why Trump lost the 2020 elections. That portal opened over Mount Rushmore and sucked up all the votes. Sucked them all right up into the sky portal. And That's why Joe Biden won.
Of faith, but guardians of complexity, contradiction, and untold power. Perhaps these stories were sealed away, not because they were false, but because they were too true. Truths that challenge, destabilize, and rewrite what we think we know. In the end, what we find in the dark isn't always meant to stay there. Sometimes, the greatest revelations are the ones we're told to forget.
And this will probably be a part 1 of this, but we're going to keep going because we got
Vatican archives. Whenever they go,
we have about 15 more minutes of Week in Weird before we kick things over to Ben. So, or before we get Breeze Bestiary, which is only a 10 to 15 minute segment. So, we'll see how far we get into this one. I'm going to speed it up though. So we're going to go at 1.5 speed.
to be opened are going to reveal extraordinary levels of details.
For centuries, the Vatican has kept some of the world's biggest secrets hidden behind thick walls and locked gates.
This is the same channel, so hopefully it's not all the same items and things. There's hidden rooms and stuff. Well, this is going to talk about the necropolis again,
But now, after 500 years, one of the most mysterious vaults has been opened. And what they found inside.
What they find?
Historians and researchers have uncovered things that were thought to be lost forever. Priceless treasures, ancient writings, and discoveries that could completely change what we think we know about history.
Vatican has a telescope and a big observatory. It has done for hundreds of years.
Peter's bones, were they somebody else's bones? Again, we can't know for sure.
They can channel the power of God to drive Satan away.
Number 1. Secret Vatican vaults.
Secrets surrounding the controversial papacy of Pope Pius XII are being revealed to the world today from the Vatican secret archives.
Imagine a vault containing over 1,200 years of hidden history. That's exactly what you'll find in the Vatican's secret archives, now called the Apostolic Archives. These archives hold some of the Church's most secret documents, locked away for centuries. But now, for the first time, parts of these archives have been opened to the public. Scholars who were once only allowed to see certain...
I could do another... people seem to like it when I had Maya and Ryan on to do the telepathy tapes. So I'm thinking about doing asking some more people on. I might have the Apostate Sisters come on and help me do some deeper dives into this Vatican stuff. I don't know. What do y'all think? You are hot. That's true. It's like a panel full of hot chicks.
Documents are now exploring records that stretch back through the ages. So, what have they found?
Number
one of the most
one.
interesting discoveries is a collection of letters from Galileo Galilei during his trial for heresy in the 1600s. These letters give us a clearer picture of the conflict between science and religion at the time, especially how Galileo's ideas challenged the Church. Another intriguing find is a series of secret diplomatic letters from Pope Pius XIII.
The person himself of Pius XII
Yeti titties. We can whip out our Yeti titties.
come out in a different way, of course, because there are answers.
You know, in the state of Texas, I should be able to rip out my titties anyway, because these are, this is a man's chest, right, Governor? Right?
Two questions at all.
During World War II, there has always been controversy about what the Pope did during the Holocaust. Was he silent, or was he secretly working to help people? These documents give us some clues, but they also leave us with more questions. Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week. Number 2.
Give me that money.
The 500-year-old art.
While cleaning the frescoed walls, crews discovered 2 never-before-seen paintings by the artist Raphael.
Deep inside the Vatican, a stunning artistic discovery was made, completely by accident.
We already watched.
In a room known as the Room of Tears, where newly elected popes go for a moment of private reflection,
Please give more details
something amazing
about it.
was found under layers of dirt and soot. During a restoration project, faint outlines of beautiful frescoes began to appear. Slowly but surely, art restorers uncovered a forgotten masterpiece hidden for centuries. These frescoes, full of rich symbolism, are believed to be about...
I do not have a Wookiee bush. I'll have you know, look at the trees, that I am smooth. I'm like a dolphin. A seal. No, seals are kind of furry. I'm not like a seal. I'm smooth. Don't be calling me Wookiee.
500 years old. But the big question is, who painted them? Art historians think the frescoes could belong to the golden age of Renaissance art, the same period as legendary artists like Michelangelo, Raphael.
Didn't the they already say that was Raphael? It was already said in the other video?
And Botticelli. However,
Botticelli.
no one has been able to identify the artist for sure. Some think it might have been one of Raphael's students, or maybe a lesser-known artist from Michelangelo's time. The clues are there, but so far, no one has been able to solve the mystery. Number 3, the hidden.
And anybody who subscribes to my OnlyFans should be able to tell you that. I'm smooth.
room.
The argument will be reinvigorated as we open the room to the public, and I hope the scholars will come back, pause and look at the drawings, and start to do more analysis in due course.
Another
I kind of
incredible
like the way it looks behind her right there. I would love to have walls like that with just the faint, like, fresco style sketchings, like faded, and I don't know. It gives it. There's a certain quality to it. I can't describe why it appeals to me. It's almost like somebody's secret sketchbook. Anyway.
Pause and look at the drawings and start to do more analysis in due course.
Another incredible discovery comes from a hidden room beneath the Medici chapels at the Basilica of San Lorenzo. This small, almost unnoticed space was sealed for centuries.
The room was discovered in 1975
San
when they were
Lorenzo.
searching for a new exit for the museum because of visitors' increase in numbers.
But what was found inside is priceless. It's believed that Michelangelo himself used this room as a hideout during the political turmoil in Florence in 1530. The walls of the room are covered in chalk and charcoal sketches. These rough drawings show studies of anatomy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think that'd be cool to have a room with walls like that. I think it looks neat.
And early versions of some of Michelangelo's most famous works. One sketch, for example, is thought to be a study for one of the sculptures in the Medici tombs, which are located right
like, is that David down there at the end?
Above the hidden room. These tombs are decorated with stunning sculptures like dawn, dusk, night, and day, which are considered masterpieces of Renaissance art. Some of the sketches also look like figures from the Sistine Chapel, reminding us of Michelangelo's genius at work. Even though these drawings aren't polished
Is that David right there, though?
works of art, they give us a rare look into the mind of a master during a very challenging time in his life. Number 4, Vatican Necropolis.
It's extraordinary to think that with the creation of a car park, the center as a car park, you have this discovery.
Hidden beneath the magnificence of St. Peter's Basilica is a secret many people don't know about, the Vatican Necropolis. This vast underground burial site dates back to Roman times.
See, now if I was a necromancer and I was in my prime, this might be my destination. I don't know if they're going to find the baby skeletons here or not.
Offers an extraordinary look into the early days of Christianity. Discovered in the mid-20th century, the necropolis, also called the Scavi, is filled with ancient tombs and mausoleums from
What about the baby skeletons from the nuns?
the 1st to 4th centuries
Is that more in Canada? I know that happened in Canada too.
AD. Just meters beneath one of the most famous churches in the world. These ancient graves tell the story of the church's earliest roots.
Archaeologically, in other parts of the hill, we have burials, including, of course, the famous burials underneath St. Peter's Church.
The necropolis stretches hundreds of meters underground, with burial chambers decorated with beautiful frescoes and mosaics.
I will say necropolises are just cool, in my opinion. I think they look cool. I think the catacombs under Paris look cool. It's just, it's my vibe. I'm a gothy chick, so...
Preserving these ancient artifacts was no easy task. The excavation had to be done with extreme care to avoid damaging St. Peter's Basilica above. Plus,
like, this is the kind of stuff that if I went to the Vatican that I would actually go see, is like the necropolis and stuff. But I'd love to go see the catacombs under Paris too. Even though you can only see like 2% of them or something like that.
the high humidity levels underground posed a big risk to the fragile artwork. So the Vatican used advanced preservation techniques to protect this historical treasure. Number 5, ancient papal documents. Deep inside the Vatican archives, there's a collection of documents that spans over 1,000 years. These papers tell the story of major world events and the rise of Christianity, and even include personal letters between popes and rulers, saints and scientists. While some of these records have been shared with the public, many remain sealed and hidden from view. One of the most mysterious parts of the collection is the ancient papal documents, including the files from the Inquisition during the Middle Ages. Although some information...
I would love to see that stuff translated. The Inquisition documents. Let's see what they were what the witch finders were saying.
About the Inquisition has been made public. A large part of the records is still locked away. These hidden documents might reveal details about the church's interrogation methods, private decisions about individual cases, and secret letters between inquisitors and the Pope. What could these unseen files contain? Could they reveal facts that would change the way we view the Church's past. Number 6. Codex Vaticanus. Inside the Vatican Library sits one of the most important books in
Codex Vaticanus. Is
history.
Like the Vulgate?
The Codex Vaticanus. This ancient manuscript, written in Greek, is one of the oldest and most complete copies of the Bible. It dates back to the 4th century CE and is incredibly valuable to scholars, theologians, and historians.
Oh, this is the one that was used to write the Vulgate. This is like pre-Vulgate.
The Codex Vaticanus was first mentioned in the Vatican Library's records in the 15th century during the time of Pope Nicholas V. It's amazing that this ancient book survived through centuries of wars, political changes, and religious debates. The Codex was written on vellum, a type of fine parchment, and originally included all 73 books of the Bible. However, some parts...
That would have been a cool job to be a scribe back then. I hope I would have been able to do something like that if I lived back then, where like, hey, your job is to write this, to copy this manuscript or something like that, and you can decorate the edges with symbols and stuff. Yeah, that'd have been fun. I mean, obviously you had to do the Bible, but you could have done other books too, because, you know, that's the... A lot of the anything that we have that's like pre-Renaissance that's holdover was preserved by Catholic monks for the most part, at least over most of Europe.
Parts of the manuscript have been lost over time. For example, the end of the book of Hebrews, along with parts of 1 and 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon.
Why do they say 2 Timothy? Isn't it 2 Timothy? Why does that bother me so much? I don't know.
And the book of Revelation are missing. Even with these missing sections, the Codex Vaticanus is still one of the most important texts in biblical studies. Number 7. Frescoes in the catacombs. Beneath the streets of Vatican City and Rome lies a hidden underground world, the ancient catacombs.
Cool.
These are where early Christians buried their dead and expressed their faith through
Hell
art.
yeah, catacombs
Some of these
are
burial
badass.
sites date back to the 2nd century AD. Inside the catacombs, you'll find frescoes, paintings on the walls that give us a glimpse into the beliefs of early Christian communities, who often had to practice their faith in secret. These Roman catacombs, including those under Vatican City, weren't just places to bury the dead. They also served as spots for worship and reflection. The catacombs were dug into solid...
I want to go down there. I would go down there for real. But the catacombs under Paris is what I want to see first. These are dating back to the 2nd century. That's pretty cool.
Volcanic rock, sometimes across several levels. Over time, people painted frescoes on the walls of these underground tombs. These paintings tell stories, showing the shift in Christian art from simple symbols to full scenes from the Bible. Number 8. Mummies in the Vatican. Among all the treasures and historical items in the Vatican, you might not expect to find mummies, but they're there. While they might not be as...
This is probably the last one I cover on here is the mummies. That's what I wanted to get to before we closed out. This is like, there'll probably be a part 2 to this because there's tons more to cover here, and then there's another whole nother video after this one.
Well known as the mummies from Egypt's pyramids, the mummies in the Vatican Museum are fascinating links to ancient civilizations. Some of these mummies date back as far as 2000 BCE. They don't just offer a window into the past. They also show the Vatican's connection to Europe's growing interest in Egyptology during the 18th and 19th centuries. During this time, Europe became obsessed with ancient Egypt. Explorers and collectors brought
stealing their artifacts, and they're dead, and they're preserved dead. Yeah, maybe you could give them back to Egypt. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it cool if the Vatican were like, hey, Egypt, we have your mummies, and I didn't take them, but my ancestors did. We get them back now. It's fine. Here's your mummies. Why not? What's stopping you? Give them back to the people they belong to. Give them back to the people you stole them from. Same thing goes to the London Museum or whatever, yeah.
Mummies and other ancient artifacts back from Egypt. The Vatican joined in when Pope Gregory XVI opened the Vatican's Egyptian Museum in 1839. Today, the museum holds several mummies, each preserved through different methods like embalming or natural processes. Number 9, Leonardo da Vinci's Codex.
All right, yeah, we already looked at Leonardo da Vinci's Codex earlier, so we're going to wrap up This Week in Weird right here. So this is just part 1 of our Vaults of the Vatican coverage. So the part 2 will not be next week, but I may do the part 2 with guest. So it may not be on Cryptic Corner. So or maybe I can finagle it out somehow to make it so I can have guests on to talk about it. I'd like an ex-Catholic. Do I know any ex-Catholics calling ex-Catholics. I know Maya, weren't you a Catholic, or you were raised Catholic? Maybe you want to come on and hang out, continue digging through the vaults of the Vatican. I don't know. Let me know. But for you at home, what do you think? What else? Was there anything we missed? What else do you think is down there? Obviously, there's more to come here, but what do you think we've missed? Do you think there are copies of the Necronomicon or something down there? I don't know. Catholic girl, Catholic school. Yeah, that's what I thought. Raised by nuns. Ouch.